Hello, hello. Greetings from Phoenix, Arizona, or thereabouts. It's Dharma and this is my second attempt at trying to do a video version of my twice monthly newsletter. So if you're receiving it, I hope you're a subscriber to either my regular newsletter or you're a subscriber to my channel. So this is kind of an experiment. So let's see how this goes. Um, uh, if you're not familiar with me, I'm Dharma. I write crime thrillers where queer women kick ass. And I just got back about a week or so ago from 20Books Vegas. And honestly, I am so glad to be home. I met so many amazing people and I learned a ton, but Vegas is not my town. Despite having lived in the Phoenix area for about almost 30 years, I've only been to Vegas a few times because I don't drink, I don't gamble, I don't really go to shows, and I'm not a big fan of the expensive foods. $30 for a hamburger? Seriously? Okay. It was a good hamburger, mind you, but still, no thank you. Mark Wahlberg makes plenty of money, and Donnie Wahlberg make plenty of money on their movies and TV shows. They don't need to be charging $30 for a bleeping hamburger. Anyway, so in this newsletter, I'm sharing some of the things that I learned in Vegas. And one is that Vegas is a freaking labyrinth, especially the Strip. I live in Phoenix, in the Metro Phoenix area, and it is mostly laid out on a grid. Streets go north and south, and they go east and west. And now, of course, in the neighborhood where I live in, it's more of a swirly kind of get lost and hope you find your way back, much like Vegas. So I guess it's not that strange, but so I was staying at the Horseshoe Las Vegas, and I was meeting some friends for drinks at the Vidara, which, according to the map, was only just like right around the block. Should have been simple. No. So I think, oh wait, okay, I can connect through Paris, excuse me, and go right through there, and then come out on the Strip, and just cut across the Strip, and then I'm there, right? No. Because it's like you got to go up this staircase, you got to go down this escalator, and you got to go across this bridge or pedestrian bridge, or you got to wait in the middle of this island before the light turns green, and just it was a freaking labyrinth. Everywhere you go, it's nothing is straightforward. So I'm glad I'm home because I know where everything is. And I also already mentioned about the crazy pricing for food and stuff. Also, as I mentioned in my previous newsletter, if you're subscribed to my regular newsletter, I had an incident where I thought I had lost my wallet. And I was going down to the food court for lunch, and I ordered a sandwich and went to pay, reached into my purse, and my wallet was not there. And I was major panic. And added to the normal panic was the fact that a few years earlier, the last author conference that I had attended was in Vancouver, Canada. Left Coast Crime, amazing conference, beautiful city. But I had left my debit card at home. And there I was in a different country with no debit card. Oh, not a fun experience. But I managed to get through it and everything like that. But I was just really not looking forward to dealing with how to get back home and without a wallet. No driver's license, no credit cards, nothing. Sounds like the entrance, the opening sequence to Burn Notice, right? Where am I? Las Vegas. where everything costs a ton of money. But fortunately, I went back to my room praying and hoping against hope that it was somehow in there. And I got into my room and I looked in my suitcase and there it was. And why did I put it in my suitcase? I cannot tell you. Why would I put it in my suitcase of all places? I don't know. I was on stimulation overload and distracted, obviously, in my room of all places. And so I made a point that anytime I left the room and periodically throughout my day, I was checking three things. Did I have my wallet? Did I have my phone? And did I have my room key? Unfortunately, there weren't any other incidents like that. In fact, as I mentioned in my previous written newsletter, an hour after the panic attack, I went to a different restaurant. It was a ramen shop. Amazing stuff. Amazing shop. And I was having lunch with a friend of mine, and a woman at the table next to me said, "Are you Dharma Kelleher?" I'm like, "Yeah." What did I do this time? Honestly, I swear she said she was over 18. No, seriously though. She said, "Are you Dharma Kelleher?" I said, "Yes." She said, "I love Turf Wars," I'm like, which is book 4 in the Jinx Blue series. And to have a fan recognize me and love my books and gush about. Sorry, my camera did something weird. It's a brand new camera. My wife got this as a birthday present, and it will track me if I move it. I can move to the side. No, it didn't do that. Why did it not do that? It got weird on me. Okay. Normal tracking. Let's see. Oh, there we go. There we go. See, I'm still learning how to do this. Okay, watch this. I think try not to get seasick. Okay. All right, here we go. Whoa. It tracks my nose. Whoa. High seas. Sorry. Easily amused. Okay. Anyway, I'm hoping it's still recording. Anyway. So, where was I? Okay. So, yeah, so she was gushing about my books, and that just made my day. It made the trip. And in addition to that, I learned lots of things and about taking my author career to the next level. And speaking of which, one of the big topics at this conference, and I realize you're a reader, but not necessarily an author. You may be an author, or not. But one of the big topics of conference was selling direct to readers. So you'll probably recall about 10 years ago, authors started publishing their own books. Some authors started publishing their own books. And that was a big kerfuffle. And, there's a lot of shaming about authors who made that decision. Well, now it's like no big deal. Nobody cares if a book is self-published or published by one of the big 5 or published by a small press. As long as the book is good, that's all readers care about, And so now authors are taking the next big leap because we cut out the middleman in terms of the publisher. Now we're cutting out one more middleman, and that is the retailer. And we're selling direct. I got to take a drink here. My throat is dry. So we're starting to sell direct to readers. And for readers, it has a lot of benefits. More and more readers are buying direct from authors. They're saying, "Goodbye, Amazon. We don't need to help pay for Jeff Bezos' next penis rocket." And one of the things is, sometimes when we buy things go wrong. I've bought things from Amazon and they were misdelivered, they were delivered damaged, or they delivered the wrong thing. One time we ordered some sort of like Asian style ingredient or something. My wife likes to cook Asian. Um, and she ordered something, some special ingredient, something like chili paste or something. And what we got was cat food. I don't know. And then we're trying to figure out, well, how do we fix the situation? Well, when you order a book directly from an author, theoretically anyway, you don't have to deal with a big faceless mega corporation that outsources its customer service to someone that barely speaks English. Um, and this is not a slam against people that are bilingual, because my Spanish sucks. I am I am barely lingual, much less bilingual. So it's just about when you're trying to resolve a situation. Sometimes it helps to have to speak with someone where there's not a language barrier. That's all I'm saying. Okay. Um, but when you're buying directly from an author, you don't have that situation, because you just contact the author directly. I mean, you buy something from Amazon and something goes wrong. Like, okay, how do I get in touch with them to let them know something went wrong? And you're looking for links or your phone number or anything. And it can be a nightmare. But one of the advantages of buying books directly from an author is you can just send an email and say, hey, I got my book and it was missing a chapter, or one of the chapters was printed upside down. I mean, these things happen. It's not the author's fault. But as an author, if you buy a book from me and there is a problem with the ebook file, or there's a problem with the printed book or something, or you didn't get it, contact me and let me know, and I will fix the situation. And if I can't fix the situation, I will refund your money, okay? Also, authors, as an incentive to readers, give publish books earlier on their website before they hit the retailers. I publish books a month ahead of time on my website before anyone can get it on Amazon or Barnes & Noble or Kobo or Apple or anywhere else. Also, there's often bonuses when you buy direct, and you're helping the author out. More of that money goes to the author. I like to, the authors I like to really support them in whatever way I can. When I sell through a retailer, the retailer gets anywhere between 30 to 75% of the purchase price, which sucks, really, because I'm the one that created it, right? But when you buy directly from my website, I get like 97% of it. It's true. And when you buy directly from me, 10% of that goes to Lambda Legal, which is a charity I support to help protect the rights of LGBT people, especially trans people these days. So help a sister out, okay? Help us to make this a better world. So anyway, one more lesson I learned from my trip to Vegas is the importance of wearing a mask. Because guess what? COVID is not over. And I think we're about to see another big spike. There's always a new variant. The latest and greatest variant. I just got my booster shot a month ago, and I wore a mask like 95% of the time. The only time I didn't really wear a mask is when I'm eating or drinking, and that was it. And a lot of my friends came down with either COVID or some sort of con crud, and I did not. And I'm not saying that to say I told you so, but I'm just saying, if you're getting together with family over the holidays, wear your mask if you can. Obviously, if you're eating at a big table, kind of hard, but maybe you could space people out a little bit so that if someone just happens to show up with something in their system, you don't take it home and catch it. Just saying. So, other things in my newsletter. What am I reading? Well, my reading has gotten a little slow lately, in part because I'm doing so much more writing because I'm on deadline. But one thing have been reading is the book The Magic of Thinking Big. And I like it because I'm trying to take my author career to the next level. So I'm trying to improve my mindset as an author and a business owner. But the thing about this, the writing in it is very dated. Um, and it's definitely written from a white male point of view. And I realize it is a product of its time. It was published like 80 years ago or 90 years ago or something. I don't know. But the writing is definitely very dated. But I'm still trying to glean what I can, whatever wisdom I can from this book. And I've also been reading The Mayfair Witches by Anne Rice. And it's a little slow at the beginning. Not a slam against Anne Rice, but it's a little slow. But I'm powering through it. So, as to what I'm working on right now, I am at the 60,000 word mark of A Plague of Crackles. And if you're not familiar with how many words are in an average novel, for me, that's about 3/4 the way through the rough draft. And I still have to do 2 revisions before I send it to the editor at the 1st of January. So I'm pushing, I'm rushing, trying to get it done. But it's going to be a great story. It's a lot of fun. Where I'm at in the story, things are about to get really real. So people are about to die, but it's going to be a good story. So I think you'll enjoy it. If you haven't already, I encourage you to read the first 2 books in the Avery Burns series. She's a transgender goth tattoo artist turned vigilante. And the first 2 books are A Conspiracy of Ravens and A Murder of Crows. So get those on my website, and you'll enjoy those. This week's bargain, I know you are inundated with Black Friday sales and Cyber Monday sales, but it is my birthday. And I am giving you a birthday present by giving you 20% off of everything in my store, dharmakelleher.com. Go there, or if you can't spell that, go to queerwomenkickass.com. It'll take you to the same place. And 20% off if you use the code. Wait a minute. It's thanks 2023. So that's THANKS 2023. Use that discount code at checkout, and it'll save 20% off of your entire order. And that's good. That discount code is only good until November 28th. So use it now. Your significant other called and said, "Buy whatever you want." Okay, a little humor. Okay, I know. Let me wrap this up. Some final thoughts and parting shots. I'm really, this time of year, I'm always kind of re-examining the past year and lessons learned and what I want to do differently in the new year. And one of the things that I've been having to consider is, where am I spending my time and my money? Specifically within the author community, which is a very broad, multi-phase, whatever community. You've got the traditional authors and you've got the independent authors. And even within the independent authors, you've got the people that are in Kindle Unlimited, which requires a certain amount of exclusivity. And then you've got the wide authors where they sell their books on all of the different retailers. And then within that wide author group, you've got the people that are really focusing on the direct to reader experience, which is what I'm doing. And so I'm really reassessing where I'm spending my time and my money. And I've decided that I'm pulling away from some of the organizations that are more traditional author focused. and also pulling away from some of the organizations that are more retailer focused. And this isn't because of any disagreement I have with any of the people running these organizations. I have nothing but love for all my fellow authors and the organizations that support them. I just have to focus on how I can take my author career and my business where I want it to go. And this is forcing me to make some difficult decisions. And I hate doing this because I feel like I'm like hurting people's feelings by taking care of myself and changing where I show up. And I am reminded of the book by Shel Silverstein. He wrote a book called The Missing Piece Meets the Big O. And the missing piece is this little wedge-shaped creature, I guess. And it is fitted into this round-shaped creature that has this web-shaped cutout in it. And the two have merged together, and they're rolling along and all happy. And then the missing piece starts to grow. Sorry, that was my phone. And it starts to grow and grow. And suddenly, they don't roll too well together anymore. And the missing piece realizes that it doesn't fit anymore. And so the two part ways. And the missing piece is very sad and lonely. And it wishes it had another shape that was missing a piece so that they could fit together again. And along comes the Big O. And the Big O, not an orgasm. I don't think this is a sexual reference. But the Big O comes along and it's a perfect circle. And the missing piece says, "Hi, I'm the missing piece, and I want to be your missing piece." And the Big O says, "I'm not missing a piece." And the missing piece goes, "Oh, well, I can't seem to go anywhere because I need to find a shape that's missing a piece." And the Big O says, "Well, maybe you can learn to roll all on your own." And the missing piece, which is wedge-shaped, says, "But I've got all the sharp corners, and I can't roll." And the Big O says, "Sharp corners wear off." And so the Big O goes rolling away, and the missing piece is very sad and lonely, and finally it decides maybe it can try to roll. And so it lifts itself up on a point, and it flops over. And it lifts itself back up onto the point, and it flops over. And up, and lift, pull, flop, lift, pull, flop. And after a while, its sharp corners start to wear off, and it becomes a little bit more egg-shaped. And instead of lift, pull, flop, it starts bouncing along. And then after a while, it gets even rounder, and it becomes a perfect circle. And then in the last scene is the missing piece, which is now perfectly round, rolling alongside the Big O. And that means so much to me. To me, what that means is sometimes we're rolling along in life, and the people we're rolling along with, suddenly we don't fit with them as well as we used to, because we started to grow. We have to find a new way of rolling along in the world. And sometimes that means rounding off our sharp edges and parting ways with people that we love. And so that's kind of what I'm doing. So sometimes we have to do that in life. And even if you're not an author, even if sometimes there's a romantic relationship or a professional relationship that at one point was going gangbusters and wonderful, and maybe now it's not. And sometimes we just have to reassess and decide, is this where I need to be? And only you can decide that. And just make the most loving decision you can. And that's what I'm doing. I've been growing, and the places where I've been fitting, I don't fit so well anymore. And I'm learning to wear off my sharp edges and become a Big O, or whatever shape I will eventually become. And my big goal for 2024 is to build a community of readers that enjoy what I write and to engage with them. I want better engagement with you, my readers, my viewers. Um, and some of the things that I'm thinking about and considering is building a community on Slack. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe even monthly Zoom calls with my fans. Could be fun. I don't know what we would talk about besides my books, but maybe we could talk about the things that you're reading or things going on in our lives. Who knows? But I'm open to suggestions. So if you have some ideas about creating a community, primarily centered around my work as an author, but with some loose guidelines, hit me up with ideas that you might have. Until then, I wish you to follow your bliss. That's my new tagline for the year. Follow your bliss. And if you celebrate it, have a wonderful Thanksgiving. And if you get together with family or friends and someone starts being toxic or you get stimulation overload, it's okay to set boundaries and take care of yourself. I wish you peace and I love you. Goodbye. All right, now how do I turn this thing off?